Emily,
Hi.
thank you for meeting me
That's okay.
and coming on the show. It's been quite an exciting year for you. You've been very busy.
Yeah.
And we met at London International, actually, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. We met through Lorna, who
Yeah.
owns 2 young horses that I'll hopefully be riding this year.
Yes, Dancer and what's the other one?
Coco.
Coco.
Coco Chanel.
Yes. Shout out to Lorna. Thank you. So, who is Emily and what do you do?
So I'm a dressage rider, but I mainly train. So that's how I sort of run my business, is through training people. I do also ride for people, but not as much anymore because I have quite a few horses to ride each day and I can't ride many more. So I then go into training in the evenings.
So are they your own horses that you're riding?
Yeah, so I have 4 of my own that I ride in the mornings. And then, so like my normal schedule will be like I get up and I ride straight away. I sometimes have a PT in the morning that I work with. And then in the afternoon, I'll go off and I'll train people. I usually start at 2:00, but if people... so some children I teach will like come out of school if they've got a sports session. So if that's the case, then obviously I'll teach those in the morning if that's where the session is. And then swap it around a bit. But my general day is like afternoon teaching and then evening teaching as well.
Wow, a lot of teaching.
Yeah.
I've actually seen some of the calendars you shared like on your socials and it's like, wow, that's a lot of teaching.
Yeah. But to be fair, it's really good. And all of them, well, every single slot won't get filled with teaching because obviously I have to leave travel time.
Yeah.
But they are now getting quite full. And also I'm really happy I've started do like a Facebook calendar where I write out all of the times that I can do and then people can like book into it in advance.
Cool. Yeah.
And it's really helped my business because I am not organised naturally. Like everybody knows that.
Nice.
So it gives me like some structure.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So you teach predominantly, you mentioned children. Is that your main business?
Yeah, I've sort of fallen into I teach everyone. I probably teach more adults than children, but I teach like quite a few pony riders. Well, not quite a few, a couple of pony riders that I'm really enjoying.
No,
teaching.
Is that something you've done before?
Yeah, so I've got one rider who's on the pony team at the moment.
Yeah.
And then I've got another rider who hopefully will be soon.
Nice. No, brilliant.
Yeah.
So you're a dressage rider. I don't think we've said that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dressage. And like, what's your journey been? Because you're now doing a lot of the teaching.
Yeah.
You're helping Lorna, that's how we met. But have you been on ponies and horses all the way through?
No, I started off riding when I was 3.
Okay.
And then I did pony club and then I started eventing. My mum didn't want me to go over B100 eventing, not that I was ever going to be talented enough to anyway. But so I ended up sort of stopping eventing. I did like a bit of everything.
Okay.
And then I went into dressage. So I hated dressage. I thought it was really boring. And I qualified for the under 25s because I knew I had to do some dressage to do like pony club stuff. So I went to this dressage show and then I qualified and then I went off to the under 25s. And then each day I thought, oh, I could actually be a bit better. And then I got quite into it.
Mm-hmm.
And my pony that I had at the time like knocked over every single jump.
Right.
So there was like
not helpful.
Yeah, no hope there. And then my mum bought a Lusitano and obviously they're from Spain and he didn't like water, which is also fair enough. So there was no way that was happening there either.
Yeah.
So then I ended up doing dressage on him and he was quite good at it. And then the more I did it, the more I loved it. And I don't think I would have been any good at eventing because I'm not brave enough. Like you put up a fence, it's way too high. Like you can be on the floor and it'll be too big for me. So yeah, that's basically how I got into dressage. And then I really wanted to do ponies, like that would have been my dream at the time. But to buy a pony that was ready to go, because I decided about 14 or 15, so I'd need one pretty much ready to go, was too expensive. And also I'm like 5'9" now and I was probably almost 5'9" then. So that was like, that probably wasn't going to be the thing I was going to be good at.
Yeah.
Because my balance would just be so wrong because I was so tall.
Yeah.
So I ended up going into horses quite quickly.
Yeah.
And then I bought my first horse from Holland. So my trainer used to work out there or I think she worked in Germany, but we ended up going to Holland to an agent who I'm still friends with now. And she still sends me some nice horses to look at, which is cool. And so went out there and I viewed loads of horses and I ended up buying Toti, who is like my main horse now.
Okay.
She's she is Gribaldi cross jazz. So I learned very quickly how hot dressage horses are.
Yes, that was a mix for you.
When I bought her, I went into like a stable yard and it was all in one big barn. And she hadn't been like outside in ages, bless her. So even when we brought her out, because my mum's a vet, so she did like a quick vetting then to see whether she'd want to put her through a vetting for insurance, because she was like, if it's not going to pass me, then what's the point of me getting a vet in? So she did the vetting. And as soon as we brought her outside, like the light hit her eyes, she was like so shocked, bless her, because she hadn't been outside in that long, which is really sad. But anyway, we ran the whole vetting, and she passed it. And I think it was actually the second time we went out. The first time I went out, she was up for way too much money, and then she had x-rays done. Somebody else went to buy her, and the x-rays weren't that good. And my mum looked at them and she was like, oh, they're good enough, like she'll be fine. So I then tried her, and she was like a really good quality horse, but she was sharp then, so she reared when I tried her. I'm not sure why that'd be like what you'd buy a 14-year-old child, but it just is how it is. And then we bought her.
Fair enough. Nice.
So then I got her home, and she was like nuts. Like, she's still one of the nuttiest horses I've probably seen. I had to bring her up to the arena with a lunge line. And she would like blind bolt on the lunge up there, so I'd end up in circles all the way up.
Brilliant.
I had to remove all of the jumps from the arena because I literally would like nearly die going around the edge.
Why do people breed these horses like that? I don't know.
I don't know who in their right mind thought those two bloodlines would even slightly work. Like hot and like backwards and explosive, like the works. And then my first foundation academy I brought her to, she used to squeal, so I got on her and I just about got into this arena. And it was like this enormous indoor, so half the arena was one lesson with one coach, and then the other lesson was with another coach. And the coach I was with, basically somebody started a lorry behind it. So she just blind bolted straight into the next lesson. I then like rounded up, sort of like a dog rounding around these people. They were pinned in the middle. I was just like continuously lapping. And then the next day she was like, I think we need to change the bit. And then I went outside to do my test, and she was like so silly in her walk. I don't even know how she did it. She actually removed an overreach boot and it went towards the judge's car, which was a very nice sports car at the moment. So that was my first outing with her. It was quite lethal.
Bless her.
But yeah, she's actually a really cool horse, and she's now still hot, and she's 15, but she's so much better than what she ever was.
And what are you doing with her now?
Into one. I think she might go Grand Prix, but I'm still trying to teach the PF because lots of energy on the spot isn't going so well. Well, it actually is going quite well now, but it wasn't in the beginning. But everything else she actually has, I would say, for it. Which is really cool.
No, it's brilliant. So it's been quite a journey then. So you mentioned your mum was a vet. So have you always been around horses then? I know you rode when you were 3, but have you always had horses?
Yeah, I have. Actually, so I used to be picked up by her, and she would like have never finished work. So I'd like go off to clients with her. And there was one client who actually bred dressage horses, where I went to her yard, and it's a really nice yard. And I used to like just sit and watch my mum do the sort of AIing and stuff. And then when she got older and the line finished, she actually gave me her last dressage horse. But she was born windswept, so her leg was like always born at a funny angle. So she wasn't going to do the high level stuff, and we didn't push her, but she was backed really nicely, so she hacked, and now she's off at a loan home. And now she's just come back this winter to retire with us. So
lovely.
It's really nice. And I could still get on and give her a hack, and she'd love it. And she'd be great. But So I probably did get into dressage just from my mum at these places.